Hello and welcome to MtG. My name is Vyacheslav, and today I tell you all that I know about black deck, mostly about mono black midrange. I wanted more people see this video and understand how powerful black color is, so please leave a like and a comment. And if you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Now I tell you about my plans about the topic. At the first I tell you about black deck and show my budget version of deck. Then I tell how to make it better by some expensive upgrades, expensive cards for especially black color. After this I tell you about different splash colors, all splash colors of course, and at the end about specific versions of the deck, I mean aggressive mono black rack and cruel black control. So let's start from my black deck. To understand black, let's check a boon cycle. Each color do something that symbolizes their origin. White protect and heal, blue draw cards and cost a lot of money, green make creatures bigger, red deal damage, boon, and black ramp you. Dark ritual effect give you free black mana, but only once, so you need to use extra card to cast some bigger spell, but cast it faster. It's symbolize important color quote, the greatness at any cost. And also I didn't think that how it was intended, but it showed to us if you want to be good with black color, you must go deep to black. I mean, you need exactly 3 black mana, you need to use double or triple black costed spells. So it was a black deck do. I have a lot of cards that can be played without 2 black sources, and trying to play it fast and generate advantage from the start of the game, start of the duel. Everybody can do it with Black Lotus, but not everyone have 4 more lethal lotuses like Dark Ritual. Black midrange deck can be different and even can include other colors as a splash, not as important colors, but to be interesting type, I think it must contain 4 copies of Dark Ritual, or Great Mana Ramp, Order, or Black Knight, it depends on format, aggressive creature with protection from swords, Hypnotic Spectre. If your opponent don't kill first turn Hip, you know it's a game. Hip is one of the best spells for Dark Ritual at the first turn. Him to Tarach, cruel discard from Fallen Empires. It can be played in the Swedish format, of course, but anyway. Sinkhole, it's cheapest land destruction effect in the old school Magic, I think. Strip Mine is cheaper, but it's restricted, you know. And some dangerous big creature for 4 mana. It can be just MtG, but it's expensive, so maybe you can use Suchi or Juggernaut or even Developer, but a bad idea. And some number of Underworld Dreams, 3 or 4. This card punish your opponent for extra draw by power or the Tom. And of course 2 restricted cards. It's Demonic Tutor and Mind Twist. It's Black Legends, you know. And as I mentioned before, game plan fast start with Dark Ritual, then put into play Hipper in the first turn or Jizam in the second, and attack with support of removal and destruction and discard spells. If you build your first black deck from zero, I can recommend my budget list. As you can see, it contains also some Single Vampires, discs to destroy dangerous permanents that black color have not answers, and Drain Life as removal. It can kill creatures and also can kill your opponent by dealing a lot of damage. And you can use late game Dark Ritual for Drain Life. It's very nice. Some people use more mana sources in the deck, but I prefer to use no more than 26, sometimes 27, because it's dangerous. 27 include Dark Ritual and Soul Ring. And Suchi may be not very budget, so you can use extra cheap Knights or Juggernaut, or more Single Vampires, as you want. Black colors have a lot of good options for sideboard or main deck even. It's cheap removal, like Terror or Paralyze, but it's not very optional, you know. If you have Terror in main deck, it's useless in black deck Mirror, or useless against artifacts. And Paralyze not work against deck that contains a lot of mana. Also you can put into sideboard or main Witches or Royal Assassin, creatures that kill creatures, some little, some big. Gloom, it's mostly sideboard card, best answer for white decks, and protect you from Circle of Protection black. Greed, card to generate advantage against controls. Icy Manipulator help you to win the game if your opponent have City of Brass and can protect you, or can destroy, not destroy, but tap opponent lands like a slow land distraction. And Tom also can be used in the format, in any format. You know, if you have the Suchi and the opponent kill him and you have the Tom, you can just draw a card. So it's nice protection against mana burn in formats that have the mana burn. Also, I like Animate Dead to use. It can be nice to animate some big that you discard with your hymn, or animate your hippie. You play first turn ritual hippie and first turn second animate that hippie. It will not deal a lot of damage because it will be 1-2, but still discard the cards. Nice. Now we can talk about some upgrades for the deck. Some expensive upgrades for the deck. First one is a House Orb. It's colorless Medicating format. Very nice card. You can use it in different formats than Old School, so if you want to buy something expensive and have not expensive cards, I think House Orb is a nice choice. It's just new experience, very fun. And can be very fun if you play and live in the bar, you know. Second, it's a Mox Jet. It can be used again instead of land, and it's sometimes ramp you, sometimes just beautiful. Very nice card. Help you to play Dark Ritual, or help you to play him to trash in the first turn. Or big creature, like MtG, Swamp, Mox Return. Black Lotus, of course, it's a Legend of the format. I think most expensive card. So it can be your 5th ritual. It's even better than ritual. I think that players use Library of Alexandria in black decks, but I don't think it's a very nice idea without white or red color. If you have not rings, wheels, or 10 twisters, you can't go back to 7 cards, and your main game plan is play Dark Ritual on the first turn and something big. So you don't have 7 cards a lot of time. And if you start from the Alexandria and try to gain advantage, you will be slower than with Dark Ritual on the first turn. So it's not in the plan of archetype, I think. But maybe your opponent will play Wheel and Alexandria will work for you. Why not? If you have it, use it, of course. And last expensive upgrade, I already tell about this card a lot of times. Of course, it's Jazam Djinn. You can see in my budget deck I use Suchi. Jazam Djinn is nice. It's I think biggest creature lesser for than 5 mana, and it have 3 drawbacks. First one is not important. It deals 1 point of damage to you. It's not big problem. Jazam Djinn deals 5 points of damage to your opponent, you know. Of course, it's problem when more on the table, but it happens. Second drawback is a vulnerability to City in the battle. Yeah. As any cards from Arabian Nights, it can be destroyed by City, and if you use second color and also have some City of Brass on the table, it can be really bad thing for you. And last drawback is a price, you know. Jazam Djinn cost like 2 collector's edition Moxens, and Jazam Djinn is not restricted, so in your deck you need 4 copies. 4 copies of Jazam, I think, if you talk about collector's edition, it costs like the all power from collector's edition. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's similar to in the price. But of course it's one of the legendary creatures in the black. We already talked about the Power 9 cards, so it's time to go to next section of the video, when we look at the different color splash for black deck. First one will be blue. It's very powerful color, and it contains very powerful Power 9 cards: Ancestral Recall, Time Twister and Time Walk. And mostly it's all that you need from blue. Put into your deck Underground Sea to make mana stabilization, and put 3 Power 9 cards, and your deck will be better. And more expensive, of course. Oh, I forget about Sapphire Mox Sapphire. It's nice tool for your blue spells. But it's not so. You can take from blue color some more cards. Most interest that I've seen in the internet, it's a deck for Swedish format, Black Disaster, or just Disaster. It's black deck that contains Power 9 and Energy Flux is in the main. It's a good answer for any heavy artifact strategy. It's dangerous for artifact aggro, and of course nice against the deck. The deck needs a lot of mana ramp artifacts and mana card advantage effects, I mean tons. So Flux can be very painful, especially if you second on the turn, your opponent put a lot of artifacts on the table, so you go and you play Lotus and Flux. This deck needs some expensive cards, because you can't use Suchi or Juggernaut. You can, but it's not very nice, it's Nombo with Flux. At the same time, if you want to build some budget variant of artifact hate deck, you can put, instead of big creature, Serendipity. And if we talk about the budget, of course you don't have, maybe, you don't have a power. So second blue spell that you can put into deck, not second, third, you already have Flux and Serendipity, it can be the Sonic Blast. Nice blue removal. For main deck, in black deck you also can use Mana Drain or Brain Gazer. It's restricted and fine cards. For sideboard, blue give blue Elemental Blast against fireballs, control magic to steal big creatures from your opponent. Oh, Psionic Purge, of course, against other deck with discard. It will be very nice if you discard cards to your opponent and you take him, but discard 2 purges. 10 points of damage is good. I don't think it's a good idea to try to play with this second blue color without duels, because mana stabilization from City of Brass is not nice here. Most effective spells, Sealing Deeps and Psionic Blast, deal damage to player who play it, so deck's not aggressive. Deck is midrange, so maybe you will take too much damage from your own spells. But it can be interesting. Also, in any other combinations that I will show today, to all of them you can put additional blue power spells, and it will make decks better. The next color that we can put into black deck is white. I think you know, the black and white is a popular black midrange archetype, that guy A. From white color we can take the nice removal, and mostly it removal, the Swords to Plowshares, cheap removal that can kill every creature, not Black Knight, but mostly every creature. Disenchant, nice answer for enchantments. Black deck don't have answers for artifacts and enchantments. Have, but it's disc, and disc destroy your own permanents. At the same time, disenchant destroy only that you won't destroy. And balance. It can kill a lot of creatures, destroy a lot of lands, and discard a lot of cards. So very interesting, different white card. Sometimes you can use in main deck the Armageddon against some specific ramp or specific land strategies. And for main deck I think it's all. In the sideboard you can use extra removal like Spirit Link or Dust to Dust. Maybe extra Armageddons. And of course Circle of Protections, for a color that you hate more. I prefer Copper Red against dangerous red cards. And of course you can put blue into this deck, but you don't only can make it better, you also can build a new variant of previous blue and black deck, Next Level Disaster. It's a blue and black disaster with white color for removal. It's nice too, and expensive of course. But if you want to put into deck power, I think it's not very expensive for you. After white, we can talk about the red color. It contains slightly it changed your game plan, because your midrange deck transformed to more aggressive variant, because from red you can take lightning bolts, chain lightnings and fireball to deal a lot of damage. Also from red color you can take shatters to kill artifacts fast, and Sedge Trolls as a very nice creature. And if you have good mana base, it's all cards that you need to put in the deck. This deck looks like a black and red disc control without discs, but it still looks like the black deck plan for game. If you have not good mana base, I mean if you, as me, have not duals, it's not very nice idea to use in one deck a lot of red spells and Underworld Dreams, because if you need many mountains to stabilize, you will have a lot of variants when you can't play your dreams. So for budget deck I recommend don't use more than 10 or 12 red spells. I mean something like pair of Shatters, Lightning Bolts and Chain Lightnings. Or such trolls but without Chain Lightnings. And I don't think it's a good idea, because better to put into the deck more boon removal. Oh, and I don't talk about the Field of Fate. It's not cheap card, but nice too, and 2 red. For the sideboard, red color give you the Red Elemental Blast, one of the best red cards, because it can counter blue power spells, and kill Serendip of Fate, of course. More Shatters, maybe some Earthquakes to kill little creatures, but deck already contains orders, so it's not a nice idea. And Blood Moons. It can be helpful if you have not very expensive and non-basic landfall mana base. But if you use duals, it can be not so nice. At the same time, it's good against good stuff, many colors decks, so you anyway can put it into sideboard. And also you can put into deck blue, as I say, and blue don't give you not only power, but also 2 very nice creatures, legendary creatures. It's Gwyndrion, the nice blocker that can discard a lot of cards from opponent hand, and Solkanar. It's like Jizam Jin, but don't deal damage to you, instead he heal you each time when you play black spell. And the last color that you can use in the black deck is green. Of course, Old School Magic have some nice black and green decks. It's Void or black and green big creatures, but it's not a black deck with splash. And when we talk about black deck with splash, green have not so many interesting and important cards. Okay, it's have a Crumble to destroy artifacts, but red have the Shatters, and white have even Disenchants to destroy enchantments. Green have a Sylvan Library as advantage instrument, but you can't put many Sylvans into deck. At the same time, if you have not big black creature, I mean Jizam Jin, the Ernam is much more better than Suchi. He don't die from Psionic Blast, and when Ernam will die, you will don't take damage from Mana Burn, because he have not his drawback. Of course, he have a weakness of Jizam, it's from Arabian Nights too, but it's not so terrible. And in this case, green is nice for you. Also, it gives you options in sideboard: Tranquility to destroy many enchantments, and Tsunami to destroy many islands. Also, you can use one more color in black deck with green. You can take from green only Ernam Jin as a big creature and card advantage instruments, and put into deck white removal, Swords and Disenchants. And it will be nice. You still have a lot of black cards to be in black archetype, and have a big creatures and removal. As you can see, I skip 2 triple colored combinations. It's black, red and white, and black, red and green. It's because these combinations of colors is a way to build nice and interesting decks, but it will be not a black decks. You need to remove too many black cards to put all good stuff from colors. Or in another case, it will be not so nice color splash. And now it's time for a final part of the video, and I tell you about 2 non-midrange black decks. First one will be the Control, because I don't build and don't play with it. So I just tell you what cards it used mostly. So mostly it's Underworld Dreams and Black White as win condition. The Howling Mine is a way to generate card advantage. Relic Barrier and Icy Manipulator to control opponent mana base, or maybe creatures, and control your Howling Mine to don't give your opponent chance to draw cards if you have not win condition on the table, and gain advantage. Something like Abyss to kill a lot of creatures, and some nice removal and good cards. It's a black control. In the Fountain of Vias, Finland Old School event, it was 2 or 3 of these decks. I put link in the description on the tournament report, so you can read it and look at all deck lists, including black controls. And now we can go to my favorite one. It's Mono Black Rock. It's my favorite budget old school Magic deck, and I even think it is best budget old school deck. Maybe I'm not right, but it at least in the list of best old school decks. Budget, not expensive. Expensive decks better. As you can see, it's similar to Black Midrange, but with some difference. It have not so many big creatures, at the same time have many aggressive little creatures, and have the Rack. It's a specific way to deal damage. You can see that contains hints and hippies, so you try to discard opponent hand, and when opponent have not hand, you play the Rack, and he will take a lot of damage. It's nice against controls, because you have the discard spells in the deck, and try to destroy the control game plan to draw many cards. And also it's nice against aggressive decks. You can trade with creatures, but your aggressive opponent try to play as many cards as can to finish game fast. And after this it's be very hard to refresh the hand. So your racks will deal a lot of damage. Dex is not expensive, and if you will try white bordered versions of the card, it will be even cheap. Much cheaper than many modern Magic decks. Of course, you can use additional colors to make the deck better. It's similar to Midrange version. And actually, from the Black Rack grows other archetype. It's a Spicy Rack. It's a 3 or 4 colored deck that also use Rack, but best creatures, best removal, and just a lot of good cards. But it's not black deck. It contains not so many black spells. And it's all that I want to tell. As I tell at the start of the video, if you like it, please leave a like in the comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.